In the Book of Mormon, we read the story of Nephi, who built the ship to cross the ocean. And I've often heard that story used as a parable for scouting and the priesthood. We've been commanded, like Nephi, to use scouting to help our young men cross the ocean and get to the promised land. And just like Nephi had to pray and receive revelation and guidance, even just to find the ore to make the tools to build the ship, as leaders and parents, we need that same guidance as we use this ship of scouting to get our young men to the promised land. But one of my favorite parts of that story is when Laman and Lemuel come up to Nephi and they make fun of him, as some people do about scouting. And they ridicule him and say, "This will not work, and you don't know how to do this, and this is not the right way to act." I think it's powerful that in that time, Nephi turns to them, and what does he do? He starts to recount the history of their ancestors, and he shares with them about Moses parting the Red Sea so the Israelites could cross through. He shares with them the story about Joseph in Egypt. He goes back and talks about the prophecies of their father Lehi, and he uses that history to teach them that yes, building the ship can be done, and obeying the Lord is the right thing to do to get their family to the promised land. Scouting was first organized in the church in 1913, and it's been used now for over 100 years. And many people don't know the history of scouting in the church, but I had the opportunity to be involved in compiling this book, Century of Honor, which is a history of those 100+ years, the Church of Jesus Christ and the Boy Scouts of America. And first of all, as I worked on this history with a team of scouting and church historians, the experiences we had were phenomenal. And the stories that we read and the things that we realized about why scouting is in the church were inspiring and taught me lessons about scouting that I didn't know. So I would encourage everyone who's involved in scouting to take some time and learn about the history, just as Nephi taught his brothers the history, because understanding our past, as the prophets have taught us, is a strength to us in these days, and it can strengthen us through these times as we use scouting to help our young men reach the promised land.